Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you how to do a marble French design. I'm going to list off the things that you need, no particular order. First, I'm going to be using a practice tip. If you're using a person, just make sure that they are prepped and ready to go. You're going to need a size 8 or 10 brush and iridescent or aurora pigment. You're going to need 2 glitters. I prefer to use shard glitters because I just like the effect. You're going to need 2 to 3 colors in the same shade range. Like I'm using blues, so teal, light blue, dark blue, medium blues, things like that. And then you're also going to need clear to encap the design. You're going to need a nail bed color, which I decided to use Valentino's Cotton Candy, and monomer and a file. So the first thing we're going to do is create the nail bed. I decided to do a smaller nail bed just to be able to show the design more. But if I were to do this on an actual person and their nail was this length, I would extend the nail bed longer to about almost halfway. Okay, the first part that I do is the shape that I want for that smile line. Some people are advanced enough to be able to do this in one bead, but I prefer to do it in 3 parts. So the first part would be the smile line, the second part would be my cuticle line to make it crisp, and then that final bead to build it up tall. So this is something that you want to take your time on, because after this step you go in with a file. The less you have to file, the less work it is for you. You really don't want to troubleshoot if you mess up. You want to kind of get it right at first and then just clean it up with the file. Also, if you're doing this on an actual person, you're going to need to put a very thin layer of clear before you start this step. It doesn't have to go all the way to the cuticle line, at least a third of the way down the nail, but it's going to be used as a protective layer so that when you do go in with that file and crisp up at that shape, you don't accidentally file into the nail or damage the nail plate in any way. Let's talk about bead consistency. As you can tell, when I dropped my bead, it didn't really run all over the place. You don't want runny beads. You're going to want it a little more on the drier side so that it can retain its shape that you're putting it in. Trying to do this with a wet bead, once you drop it, it'll disperse, and now you're trying to play like a catch-up game, trying to scooch everything back to where you want it, and it just keeps spreading out, and it just ends up being more work for you, which is what we don't want as nail technicians. You see how I'm doing this patting motion on the top and then using the front edge of my brush to keep cleaning up along the sides of the smile line? I'm doing this because I want to create a cliff. I want it to be to where the sides are vertical to the nail, like a wall, and then the top of it is going to be flat, and it helps me create this crisp edge around the smile line. Now, I didn't show myself filing it, but this is the side view once it has been filed. I only did the smile line and not the top. You see how I have that L shape going on? Just think of that, of like a cliff. You have that flat top and it goes straight down like a wall. So whenever you do French, think cliff. Now I'm ready to get started. I set up my glitters, my pigments, my colors, and everything that I'm going to need. This also helps with efficiency and being able to get this set done faster. So first I'm going to grab a clear bead with some blue on it, and I'm going to drop that down. A technique that I like to use is using that clear and then using the point of my brush once I drop the bead down to swirl it and bring it down. But you don't want to work it too much or you'll end up getting a muddy look, and that's not the design we're going for today. I also want you guys to remember this is something to have fun with. Every time you do this design, it will come out different. Some people might want a little more glitter, a little less glitter, a little more color. You know, it's all in the preference of the person. But just have fun with it. Don't be so strict. Another key to making this design, you'll want to make the layers thin, because what we want to do is add at least 2 layers to this design. That's what really builds up the depth. It gives that look to where it's, you know, multi-dimensional. You notice how I push up color against the wall all the way to the top? I do this because it also helps give that crisp look once you file it down, because you immediately have a color pressed up against that pink. It's not just glitter, it's not just clear. So you could really see that definition in that line. Here you see me adding the different layers. So in spots that you might have a lot of glitter, add some clear and swirl in that little bit of color so that you can still see the glitter underneath, but you also see color on top. And vice versa, for a spot that has more color, add a little bit of glitter on top. After you finish up your design and you're satisfied with how it looks, you're going to want to encap it with clear. Make sure all spots are covered in clear so that when you file, you do not file your design away. I did not record the filing process, so this is the nail already filed and buffed. A key to having a design look very clear is buffing in the end. It just does something that it pulls out that shine when you top coat. You're going to want to cure for 60 seconds and then your design is finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope that you were able to learn something new today and come back for the next video. I will be posting the video for the flower at a later date, so keep a lookout for that. Thanks, guys.